beste ervaring.
Welcome to Kitchen Meditation, where we cook together in a soothing setting that will reorient the rest of your day in a positive direction. I'm thrilled to be meditating with you today as we clear our minds of outside distractions and make a simple dish of ravioli. These little pouches of goodness are a delight for any meal, and while they may appear complicated, as we meditate today, we'll break it down into simple steps that can be done at home. No special tools, no special ingredients, and no special recipe required. To begin, we start with a large mound of flour. There's no need to measure this flour. We'll end up using exactly how much our dough needs. No more, no less. In the center of this flour, we use our fingers to create a large well. This well will serve as our mixing area as we transform simple eggs into a rich, beautiful noodle dough. We thoughtfully add eggs into this well, one for each person we'll be sharing our ravioli with. Next, we begin stirring the eggs. As you stir, small bits of flour will naturally blend into the eggs, slowly changing their texture and consistency. At first, you may not notice a difference, but as you continue stirring and working in more flour, you'll see your eggs slowly become more opaque and structured. Throughout this process, you can completely cover your eggs in flour and continue stirring, and you'll find your egg mixture always rises out of the flour, separating and becoming more like the noodle dough that we're looking for. This idea of being repeatedly agitated and buried and mixed, but always coming out on top, always different, but always closer to our intended form. I find this to be a beautiful metaphor for the experiences we have in life. Maybe meditate on that as we continue mixing our dough. As we continue incorporating flour into our eggs, eventually they'll become solid enough that we can use our hands to finish kneading. We'll be kneading our eggs for a while, adding more flour as needed, until the dough has about the same consistency as Play-Doh. Soft with a little bit of tack to it, but not sticky. Take your time with this kneading process and really pay attention to and enjoy the tactile feel of working with your hands to create something out of just these two simple ingredients. When you're satisfied with your dough, wrap it with plastic wrap and allow it to rest for about 30 minutes. You can also place it in the refrigerator for later, perhaps preparing the dough during a moment of downtime and returning to it as you prepare dinner in the evening. This simple 2-ingredient dough is the starting point for a wide variety of beautiful, delicious pasta dishes. Ravioli is a perfect dish for experiencing it. Ravioli also provides us with the perfect excuse for incorporating fresh herbs, which can infuse your dish with a variety of flavors. Keeping low-maintenance herbs growing in your backyard or your porch garden box is one of life's little joys. However, if this isn't part of your life right now, that's completely okay. May you learn to find satisfaction in your life as it currently is. Aspiration should add a rosy tint to our future, not dull the present. If you'd like, you can also purchase fresh herbs from the grocery store or make a cheese ravioli without them. From my garden, I'll clip some French tarragon, summer savory, and my very favorite, thyme. I'll also clip some sage leaves to incorporate into a butter sauce. About 2 tablespoons of freshly chopped herbs should be sufficient for this dish. To add further depth of flavor, we'll also chop about 2 cloves of garlic. Our cheese filling today will be a simple one. We start with about a cup of ricotta cheese, then we add a little softened butter for richness, garlic and herbs for flavor, salt and pepper, an egg yolk for texture, and then finish with plenty of freshly grated parmesan. We thoroughly mix these simple, fresh ingredients, allowing the flavors to blend and meld, and then our filling is ready to go. Of all the kitchen activities that allow for beautiful moments of quiet meditation, rolling pasta dough may be one of the best. We start with the dough we created earlier, and if needed, we cut it into smaller, manageable sections that will roll separately. To begin, we roll each section into a long strip, fold it over itself, rotate, and roll again. We repeat these steps thoughtfully in a process known as lamination. Once we've laminated the dough a couple times, we begin fully rolling it out, looking to create a large sheet thin enough that we can see our hands and the light shine through when it's held up. We'll repeat these steps with any remaining portions of dough. From here, we'll cut our dough sheets into clean rectangular shapes, making them easier to fill and shape uniformly as ravioli. Any dough that's removed in this step can be re-rolled and used for additional ravioli or for later dishes. We'll now apply the cheese mixture we made earlier, either spooning it directly onto the ravioli, or we can place it in a piping bag for easier application. We'll place about a tablespoon of the cheese mixture every couple inches along the ravioli noodle. To seal the ravioli closed, our dough will need to be moist. You can do this by sprinkling water with your hand or by using a spray bottle. Next, we fold the noodle over the cheese mixture, and using our fingers, we'll gently press out any air and create a seal around each pocket of cheese mixture that will protect it from the rapidly boiling pasta water. From here, you can cut out the ravioli using a knife or a dedicated pasta wheel if you have one. We'll place the individual raviolis in a floured pan until we're ready to cook them. Two of the most delicious options for serving with ravioli are fresh red sauce or a simple butter sauce. We'll use butter sauce here so that the ravioli taste shines through and we can truly appreciate the flavors that we've created. We begin by melting a generous amount of butter in a pan over medium heat. While we're at the stove, we'll also begin heating a large pot of water with a generous amount of salt, which we'll be using for the noodles in a few minutes. As the butter is melting, we slice a few cloves of garlic. If you have them, you can also prepare your sage leaves. Once the butter begins to brown and gives off the soft, nutty aroma, we add the sliced garlic, sage leaves, and a pinch of salt. We allow this sauce to cook a few minutes longer until the garlic cloves are a light golden color. While waiting for the garlic to cook, we add ravioli to the boiling water and allow it to cook for about 5 minutes, give or take, being mindful that fresh pasta cooks much quicker than dried. When it's finished, we remove the ravioli and thoughtfully arrange it on a serving plate. Then we pour the brown butter sauce on top. If you'd like, you may also serve with freshly grated Parmesan cheese. As you enjoy your creation today, take a moment to consider the blessings in your life, your health, your relationships, and at this moment, be grateful for your ability to make and share wonderful food. If you've enjoyed your kitchen time today, please consider subscribing for regular moments of kitchen meditation, and may you have a wonderful day. Namaste.